What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So basically this one people might not agree with, and don't get me wrong, I completely get it. I'm not going to say you should do this. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but we're installing a short shifter. Now obviously, yes, you should install a short shifter if you have a manual transmission car. You know, if you're going for the quick shifts and just, you know, better speed and faster times and all that, like 100% go with a short shifter. It makes complete sense. And I always wanted one of my Impreza, and it probably took me like 4 or 5 years until I got one, just because the car wasn't really worth a lot. And then I said screw it, and I bought an eBay one. After that video, I was like, wow, this eBay one's actually really not too bad. I was actually really impressed with it. So today we're doing another eBay short shifter install in the 2018 STI. Actually, this came from AliExpress, but eBay, AliExpress, same thing. The part probably is the same from China. It was like 60 bucks shipped. I was like, you can't beat it, you know? Now, this short shifter, I believe, is the same for, I guess, I don't know, like, I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description of what it will fit, basically, with a link of where to get it. Vroom, vroom. For 60 bucks, shipped to my house from China, because it was AliExpress. It might have been like 65, but I got 2 boxes right here. So let's start with the small one. So for 60 bucks, you got a short shifter, and you got all of this. Now, what's inside of here is your polyurethane bushings. Now, I think alone 60 bucks, this is worth it. It also comes with your grease and a couple of bolts. I believe it's for this part right here that is for your shifter. This is what we got in the other box. It looks like just some hardware for the shifter. It looks like it's correct. It looks a lot like the Cartboy short shifter. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm not going to tell you should install this or you shouldn't install this. And I understand, you know, this is, you know, from AliExpress / eBay, so it's probably not the best quality part. But just kind of going at it, I don't think it's going to break, okay? Also, I'm sure Cobb and Cartboy and whoever else makes these really nice short shifters, don't get me wrong, they're great products. They put a lot of R&D into them and so on. And they'll definitely hold up if you're abusing the car on the track. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really plan on tracking the car. I just kind of want the shorter throws and just the notchy feeling. And honestly, this so far feels really good. Looking at the welds, they look okay. Actually, it's kind of like whatever right here. Right here, it's kind of like sunk in. Oh, there's a hairline crack. There's a hairline crack. I'll show you guys that crack right now. Right there, you can see it. Hopefully that picked it up. I don't really know. But yeah, this is the rest of the welds. The part looks decent in all honesty. So yeah, I'll probably bring this to work and get this fixed. Throw a little bit of weld in there, get that all fixed up, strengthen it up, shouldn't have a problem. And then we'll throw this in. So I guess we got to cut the install a little bit short. That's fine. I'll see you guys another day. I ended up getting this welded. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll do the trick. There's no more crack weld. And I sprayed some zinc coating paint on it just to kind of help not allow it to rust. So I think we're okay there. It's probably fine before, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Before we rip this out, I figured we should take a before and after of the throw. So before, I have this 4-inch lined up to like the center. It's pretty close. That's about lined up. So if you go forward, it's about 1 inch. Yeah, about 5. So it's about 1 inch of throw. So I don't know how much it's going to shorten it, but it'll do it a bit. All right, let's get started. Okay, so everything we're doing underneath the car is for the 2 bushings, basically. But there is something you are going to have to do for this to makes it a lot easier for the reverse lockout. It involves an Allen key, so I'll show you guys that. But if you're not installing these, a lot of this you're not going to have to do. You can probably skip ahead and just watch this install. But we got to get underneath the car and remove some stuff. Okay, so if I'm underneath the car, You have to take out this tray right here that's above the exhaust, this big gray tray. I believe that's a couple of 12s right there. There's an O2 sensor right here. Can't really get a good angle, but this O2 sensor, it's going to be kind of a pain for you. What you can do is just disconnect it right here. That's the harness, that's the plug right there. You can cut that or try to pop it out. I'm going to try to pop it out. And also this transmission mount right here, you're going to have to unbolt that so you can get access up top. Up in here it's dark, I can't really show you, but you'll see why afterwards. You need to get this stuff out of the way. So that's a couple of 14s right here, I think 12s right there, and a couple more 14s back there. And obviously unplug this and you can do everything you need to do. Now that everything has been kind of removed, this I dropped, that's the mount for the transmission, and I just kind of pushed it forward. We also have the Allen key in there. There's a hole that it goes into, and it kind of just helps hold it in place. It makes it easier when installing your short shifter. We gotta remove those two bolts right there. I think they're both 12s. And we gotta remove that bolt right here so we can get to this bushing. There's also a little notch at the top of this bracket, this right here, this bracket that you have to line up. So make sure you're watching for that when you remove it. Just be careful that it goes back in when you put it all back together. Yeah, I don't know if we have to dismantle this, but we might have to. We will find out. Okay, as you can see, everything has been loosened up. This is out, and that is free. It was a couple of 12 mils with an extension, came right out. I'm thinking maybe we can disconnect the shifter up top, and this should just come out, which will make removing this bushing a lot easier. So let's switch to the top, see if we can bust that out. Oh yeah, our thing came out, so we got to put that back in real quick. Our little Allen key came out, so make sure that's in, and then we'll switch over to the top. Just unscrew these white parts, and then you should be able to just kind of pull everything out. Just stretch the rubber part around all of this, and it should just pop right off. Now, there's a pin that goes through right there, and that kind of holds everything together for the lockout, okay? To knock it out, just take something small, like a small screwdriver, put it in, and then kind of hammer it out, but be careful you don't lose that pin. If you lose that pin, you're kind of screwed, so take your time doing this. And honestly, it's probably easier to do this before you disconnect everything underneath the car, just because this does flap around. Ta-da! That over there. Okay. Okay, next you got to remove these bolts right here. I believe it's a couple of 12 mils, so just knock it out real quick. This is your reverse lockout. Once you take out the pin, it just kind of slides right out. After you cut the zip tie, everything comes off. Finally, there's a little C-clip on the inside of this. Use some of these like C-clip remover pliers. Should pop it right out. This should just come right out, just like so. There's also an O-ring you got to make sure you take. Goes on the bottom of this. My plan of having this kind of dropping down didn't really work. It's really held in by the rubber up there, and it kind of pulled out, but it doesn't fully want to come out. I did manage to pull off the back bushing back there. Probably difficult to see. And this right here, I'm kind of getting out. using a flat head, kind of pushing it in and prying it out. So can't really show this. It's really tight down here and dark, but I hope this kind of helps you understand. Literally, I'm just taking a flat head, shoving it all the way down in, and kind of trying to pry it out. And so far, it seems to be working. So I'm going to keep going at this. I'll update you guys when I'm done. Alright, just got it out. Decided I should show you guys kind of like the difference. Obviously, this is the OEM one. This is the polyurethane. I went ahead and I threw a bunch of grease in there to kind of get it ready. I'm also going to throw some around the edge just to kind of help keep everything lubed up. Here is the old one and obviously the new one. Again, I threw some grease in there to kind of help slip it on. And with the new one, you are going to have to use new hardware because it's a lot thicker. Obviously, that's just a plate, and that's thicker, so you got to use the new hardware. And whenever I swap out new stuff, I like to just throw some anti-seize on there just to kind of help keep everything rust free if I ever need to swap this out. So I'm going to throw this on all the hardware I did remove today. So keep that in mind, that's good to do. And if you see anything that's starting to kind of corrode, you could throw some of the Rust Check green spray lubricant that we used before on the channel. I have to say, have fun getting these bushings in. This one I had to resort to a clamp to get it in, and even the one up top. I don't know if you can see it, it's in, but I haven't bolted it in yet. But yeah, have fun. It's really not easy. I almost gave up for the day and was going to tackle it again tomorrow, but luckily I got a clamp that kind of got it in there, so hopefully everything just kind of bolts back up. So everything you do now is just in reverse. So whatever you took out, put it back in. There we go. That's in. Good luck getting that in. Even with the clamp, it didn't go in. I had to like force it and wedge it in, and then just good luck. It really is not fun. The back's not too bad. I did lubricate everything with that Rust Check stuff. So we should be done down here. We can go to the top and finish up there. Okay, so what we have to do first is basically take everything from our original OEM shifter and swap it over. It's not too bad. I guess what we could do is start with this side. It is covered with like rubber just from driving, I guess. So I'm gonna just kind of clean off all that rubber stuff. This should just pop out. You would think it would just, yep, there we go. Just pops off. And that C-clip comes out. Again, I'm just gonna try to get that stuff off. As much rubber as I can off. So clamp. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some of this lube on there. That can go right in. Move it all around, get that lube worked in. The O-ring. You can get it on. Just like so. Next, take your Phillips. Okay, transfer it over. Okay, throw your spring in, and that's that. I'm gonna just clean up my hands a bit just so I'm not so dirty going into the car. You don't want to get grease all over your car, so be right back. Just like so. Your O-ring clamp thingies and get that O-ring back in place. Okay, once you got this up, throw this part back on, just down. And if you remember, we put the Allen key in there, and that's to make sure that the pin slides up. Oh, it went in. Perfect. So now that it's lined up, take your pin, start putting it through, making sure everything is It's lined up, and your lockout works for reverse. There we go, it's in now, it's flush. And just already, this thing is really stiff. We got to tighten down these, again, the 212 mil. Alright, finish it off with the zip tie. And just like that, everything is back on. That's the transmission mount. That under tray, the O2 sensor is back in. I don't know if you can see it, it's right there. So that's it, everything's done underneath. Everything above should also be done. This took way longer than it should have. I'm tired, I am hungry. I'm gonna drop the car, kind of clean up the interior, clean up all the tools. When I get a driving clip, then I'll kind of show you what it's like driving, but so far, like, it seems pretty good. It's a lot notchier. I just quickly played with it, so that's cool, and it seems to be functioning. The worst part of those bushings, good luck. If you really don't care about them, don't put them in. I'm exhausted from them, so just a tip. If you really don't care about them, don't put them in. Otherwise, you know, it'll work. Just, you're gonna be out here for hours. Oh. Okay, so I was just checking the distance that it travels, and something I find interesting is it actually travels further than it did before, by about, I believe, 1/4 inch. Now, that's interesting because even though it might travel a little bit more, it's like a lot shorter, as you can tell. It's a lot more notchy. You can easily go through the gears. 1 to 6, reverse still works. So I find that interesting. So I guess it's not necessarily going to shorten the travel distance, I guess, but it shortens the amount of, I guess, distance between shifts, which honestly I do feel like it is shorter. It is going to take some time to get used to, but I think honestly, again, for like 60 or 65 bucks Canadian shipped to your door, I don't think you could really beat it. So if this is for you and you want to do a budget build and you want to just get an eBay short shifter, then yeah, you could do it. Is the bushings any better or worse? I have no idea. I've never used the Carboy bushings, but I do know these bushings work. Some kid's having like a panic attack right now. I do know these bushings work, but the Carboy bushings might be a little bit easier going in. I don't know. So it's really your call. It's your build. It's your car. You put whatever parts you want in there. If you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have questions, I do try my best to kind of answer them. I try to record the videos and include as much information you might need to know, so I don't really have to answer questions, just so everything you need to know will be in the video. But if there is a question that I did not answer in the video, I will try to answer them. So, as always, take it easy. Alright guys, so I've actually been driving around the STI with the short shifter now for a couple of weeks. And honestly, no issues. I've had no issues at all with it. I think, you know, if you want to give it a shot, might as well go for it. You can try it out. It's, again, I think I only paid like 60 bucks with bushings shipped to my house. The only thing I did notice, So like going in and out of gears, it is shorter. It's a lot more of like a mechanical feeling. But something I did notice was there is a noticeable amount of NVH, I believe it's called. It's noise, vibration, something, and harshness. And I mean, you know what? If you're daily driving this car, maybe don't put the polyurethane bushings, because it kind of does have like a track car feel to it now. I'll include a little sound clip. I don't really mind it because my exhaust is kind of loud, so it kind of sounds cool. You can hear like the transmission like moving. You could hear a lot of the more mechanical sounds of it. So, you know, if you want that, I mean, go ahead, put the polyurethane bushings in. But if it's a daily driver and you don't want to hear it, I wouldn't really recommend it. I don't know if the bushings are going to have the same effect on different brands. Like if you go with a carboy shifter or a Cobb, you know, I don't know. I've never used their bushings, so I really don't know. Maybe if I'm pulling the transmission out one day and I'm really sick of the sound, maybe I'll go buy an OEM rubber one and throw it back in. Just, I really don't know. Right now, I don't mind it. It's there. I'll just show you right now. But honestly, I don't think it's too bad.